Again, gunmen strike in Igangan reportedly kill Amotekun commander. Residents of Igangan in Ibarapa North local government area of Oyo State were on Friday night thrown into confusion as gunmen struck again, allegedly killed the Amotekun commander in the local government. The assailants, who were reported to have dressed in customs uniforms, were said to have been initially repelled by the local hunters. Reports reaching me now reveals that around 8 p.m. people suspected to be Fulani herdsmen again invaded Igangan and shooting for over 30 minutes. Some said they were customs men as they wore customs uniform, but they were chased by local hunters but have killed some people. They also passed the Igbora and continued shooting, and it was reported that people have died in Igbora too, including one Amotekun operative. Further reports later said nobody knows what is going on in the major streets. It was reported that the commander of Amotekun Ibarapa Central has been killed, and the picture was attached. Oh, we can't. That's probably not even. Yeah, no. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, with the arrest of Igboho, did they really think? Like, of course, Igboho was literally the piece holding that whole part of the country together. I mean, again, not that the man has done anything like extra, but you know, I think it's the hype that he had. So I think with the hype that he had and the name that he had for himself, I think that it was already enough of a threat to absolutely a lot of herdsmen. And we never really heard of this herdsman attack. Now, of course, you know, this man has been arrested. There is really no one else that is, you know, pushing this movement and making sure that there's sort of a threat. So again, I mean, what do you expect? The government has arrested him. Of course, these herdsmen are they're very confident now. Very, very confident. For what? For what? Now they're very, very confident. And obviously this is sad, but the government has brought this upon themselves and they're gonna have a lot to deal with. I mean, I don't think this government understands that they're gonna be fighting different fights. And they will probably be overwhelmed. Imagine with the continuous agitations, because there's going to be more protests. On the 5th of August, Omoyele Showa is planning another nationwide protest, like a proper one. Even diasporans would have to be involved in this as well. And then you have the fight of bandits and herdsmen, which you might argue that, you know, they might sponsor it or they're in charge of that, but it would be a lot for them to handle and to be overwhelming for them, as well as, you know, Biafrans continuing their agitation because they're not going to stop anytime soon. Oduduwa Nation, maybe they may. Of course, with Nnamdi Kanu's arrest, they probably got too comfortable there, and with Igboho's, you know, invasion, of course, it's obviously sad. So yeah, I mean, they're now continuing, and the government has not really done anything. And now the people, it's basically a cycle. We are going back to the times where the Yorubas were put in a position where they had to defend themselves, or they let themselves, you know, be attacked by these herdsmen. And we're going back to that cycle again. Meaning that, again, it's becoming unsafe and they may have to defend themselves and get in trouble for defending themselves. Of course, that makes absolutely no sense, but it seems that that's what's happening today. Listen, I genuinely think it's because of the arrest of Igboho that is giving the false confidence that some things are just acceptable when really, really, they're not. A person here says government of Fulani by Fulani for Fulani, but then it's really not, because they're suffering themselves. So again, you might say there's nepotism and all that. They do gatekeep resources that are not theirs. They gatekeep opportunities for themselves only, fine. But then if you talk about the average Fulani man or the average Hausa man in the north, they're not also living the best life as well. I want to see nepotism when there's a clear and stark difference in the quality of life and the standard of living of the northerners to the southerners, or else it's just an elitist kind of enjoyment. Someone says the only solution is for Yorubas to have their nation, because only federal government and bandit militia force are allowed to use AK-47. you can say that Fulanis will be destroyed by God very soon. Governor Makinde, you see your life. You don't want to save your people from Fulani. God is watching you. All right. The soil of Igbarakwa will begin to work against every blood-sucking demon that steps in there from today henceforth, in Jesus' mighty name. Okay. Honestly, I genuinely think that, like, for an area where people have been killed unjustly, their blood would definitely be justified for them. And I genuinely think that Nigeria is still where it is. Not gonna lie. From the wars, I mean, this may sound, I mean, you don't have to believe, I don't have facts to back this up, it's just an opinion that I have. But looking at slavery and looking at the amount of pain that Nigeria as a land has gone through for the past 500 years, listen, we're talking some sort of if you're a Christian, you say that we need to be delivered, because honestly, it's not a joke. I genuinely think, even, okay, fine, let's go back Nigeria's existence from 1960, that Biafran war. I do not even care. The blood of those that were, of the soldiers, and of course, I mean, on the Biafran side, of course, the innocent children that were killed and all that, their blood is fighting for them today, meaning that from that time till now, the country would literally not be in a good position at all. The blood of those are avenging for them in terms of making sure the country is going to be sucked down dry. So yeah, I don't believe that this is a coincidence. And again, I think the same is going to happen in Yoruba land, as in there are going to be more killings and the blood of those will avenge for them. And it really would. I mean, if you don't believe it, there have been so many deaths. Even look, especially by the government, and even if you look at the the NSAS protest as well. Oh my days, when people have died unjustly in their own land, they know, like, that land, like, the people that caused that land is definitely cursed, for real. That's just my personal opinion, and that's just what it is. So again, I think that, okay, that's another perspective in which a lot of people might not agree with, but sometimes it gives people confidence that there will be justice. However, some people that don't believe in that want to see action. They want to see the government actually take charge. And again, it's obviously sad, but I think that Yorubas are gonna have no choice but to defend themselves. You cannot be killed and invaded in your own land. It doesn't work like that. That is absurd. But what you think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.